Welcome, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, who has the tape? Are we live already?
Yeah.
Thank you, Yosef. Thank you. Nachamol. Thank you, Yosef, for putting up the kitchen. Unbelievable. Looks beautiful. Today's share is being sponsored L'Fur Shlema of Nisim Ben Ni'ima by Yosef and Elisheva Miller. That's one. We really appreciate the sponsors. It really helps, especially now while we're building, but it also helps to support the beautiful siyumim that we do. Today's shir and learning is dedicated to announce that in 1 week from today, on the 9th of Adar, which is Thursday, March 5th, will be the first yahrzeit of Rav Mordechai Delinsky Zatzal, Rav Mordechai Moshe ben Zelig, who was the Mashgiach of Yeshiva Torah Or and gave Vadim all over. It's going to be a Soyers and a Siyum gathering in Lili Nishmasei on the yahrzeit, Thursday, March 5th, at the RNS Hall, 416 Clifton Avenue, Lakewood, New Jersey, at 7 p.m. Be there. The Oilam, I don't know. Okay, I thought they're going to fly people in, but details are here. They'll be posted on the 8-minute Daf site for more details. Also, today's shir sponsored. Zecher Nishmas Yocheved Basel Chonon. Here, you can put this up. Yeah, that's good. All there is good. That's good. No, but there's here. Okay.
Who sent this thing? Who sent this? Who sent this?
I don't know his name. Ask Yosef. I'm not in charge of that stuff, but they discuss it with Yosef Biliak. Rabbi Sai. Sorry. This is. It says on the bottom somewhere that this baby is the youngest baby to learn the daf. Not true. That was my grandson. But I had a big kasha when I saw this picture. What's the kasha? He's the first person doing the daf. I was sharing sleeping. But then I had a teretz. If you look closely, it's on pause. This is the baby that is supposed to be up here. This should be up here. Tinoik Ben Dina Bracha. It's our good friend Daniel Landau's baby. The Shalom Zachar is this Friday night on Dolev. Maybe put it lower, no? On Dolev, all the way up. I don't know where is he here. He was here last night. It was amazing that he was able to make it to the shir. What? 39 Dolev. I don't know. When you get to Dolev, you make a right or a left? You make a right. Okay. You'll find the Knesset there. Email. Actually, there's a text. This is this means a lot to me. Where's Barak? Is Barak here today? This is like Barak's competition. He's not feeling well. Okay, hi. Just wanted to say thank you. For literally 20 plus years, other than studying with my kids, I didn't open a Gemara. In high school and yeshiva, I fluffed my way through and really hated Gemara. I decided with Berachos, it's time to give it a shot, and you're by far the best Gemara shir I've ever been to. Learning with you virtually every day.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
To my horn. Learning with you virtually every day has really had a big impact on me. Like I promised day one of Berachos, it will change your life. So that's what he's saying. It had a big impact on me. The last 2 months or so. Keep it up and thank you so much again. Mati Mitteldorf. You guys know him? Yeah. Oh, they all know him. Live on Ein Gedi. By the way, you have learned with me literally around the world. Berlin, Amsterdam, Kharkiv, New York, Boston, D.C. All right, Mati. The Oilam wants him here in the shir. Right here in the shir. Do we have room for another one?
President Eli.
Rabbi Sai, we're trying really hard to put together a nice clip for our siyum, which will probably be shown on Yeshiva World News as well to get more people to join the shir. If you have something to say your name, where you live, and why you watched the shir, and send it to this WhatsApp number. Your shekayach. That's that. This is an email in Hebrew for a different time. This guy's not learning the daf. He's actually not happy with you guys. This guy is my cousin, Dr. Jake Friedman. He's a surgeon. He's an ENT surgeon, and he is the Somebody wants a picture of this. I thought you want a picture of this. Okay. Okay. Oh, Yishkoyach. Since he's a young kid, or I should say maybe a young teenager, I took him every single year to Vail, and I taught him how to snowboard, and now he teaches me how to snowboard. So every single year, this is my gift to you guys. This is my sacrifice. This year is the first time that I'm not going with him. He's my chavrusa. We go one-on-one for 3 days every year. He's by himself now and very upset, sending me a lot of pictures, a lot of nasty texts, and he's not learning the daf with us. All right, so that's Jake. Fine. I think we'll leave that for that now. We have a big daf. Yishkoyach for the water again. Where's my clock? Great, I got it. But no water today. You're in charge of the water. Yesterday you got me 2, today nothing. Okay. He's not in charge of this. Fine. Zog to Gemara. We're holding on the bottom Daf Nun Dalam and Beis. I got it to Sugyas. Unbelievable stuff. 2 lines from the bottom. Daf Nun Dalam and Beis. Va'omar Rav Yehuda. Shlosh dvar ma'marich behem. Marichin yonam v'shnoisav shel adam. It's like a midah. What? Tuesday night at Beis Tefillah. Tuesday night here for women. Rav Gav. Beautiful shir. Last time women were very inspired. He's one of the best speakers today. 8 p.m. in this Beis Medrash. And on
March 8th.
Following Sunday, March 8th. Big Siyum in Beis Tefillah. Rabbi Isai, I'm asking if anybody could come up with some sort of interesting idea that has to do maybe with Mesechus Berachos, something that we could do, something different, something with Purim, Berachos, I don't know. Brainstorm, talk to Noam about it. If everybody thinks about it, we could come up with something really good. Food, Berachos, dreams, who knows what. Siyum is for men and women, but that's it. And kids that attend the daf. Okay. If you prolong these 3 things, it will prolong your life. A longer davening, the Gemara will explain. And a person that has long meals. This is a great Gemara for all of you that spend a lot of time with YouTube in the bathroom, v'chulu. This is great. What? If you daven long, it's great. We had the sugi already. If you daven and you look into it, at the end of the day, you'll have a heartache because your davening won't be answered, and you're going to be wondering why. A tefillah that's memushacha, that's prolonged, is going to cause a disease of the heart. We know the answer, right? Because we learned this. There's a difference between a long davening and a davening that you're ma'ayin and you decided on your own that Hashem must listen to you. That's the problem. There are 3 things that remind HaKadosh Baruch Hu about a person's averis. He opens up the file and starts looking into the person. If you sit underneath a wall that's leaning, in other words, you put yourself in a...
You have to sit. You pass,
okay. Over. You put yourself in a position of danger. Jumping out of planes,
driving planes,
flying planes, diving with sharks, safari,
touching lions,
walking with the lion, v'yun tefillah. Skiing is no. V'yun tefillah. So one of the 3 things is looking into your davening. A person that tells HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this guy just did this to me, why don't you deal with him? Look at what a bad guy he is. In other words, you're telling Hashem, you're perfect, deal with him. So Hashem looks into you. If you're ma'arich b'tefillah, you prolong your tefillah, but you don't think that you deserve to be answered, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu answers you. But if you think that you deserve to be answered, then Hashem doesn't answer. So therefore, what do? How is it done? The mapish berachamim, you prolong in the rachmanos, you ask for rachamim, but you don't think to yourself that you deserve it for a second, and then Hashem will answer your tefillos. What does it mean? You have a long suuda, dilma osi anya v'yavle. Meaning you give the opportunity for the poor to join your meal. That's what it means, marach b'sudasa. T'chsiv, HaMizbeach ate shalish hamis gavoya. It starts off the pasuk with the Mizbeach, talking about the Mizbeach. Uchsi vayidaber elai zeh hashulchan asher lefnei Hashem. This table. Pasuk with Mizbeach, we see b'shulchan. Start off with Mizbeach, ended off with the table. Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Elazar Damer Tavayu Pshadas Pashit. Calls man Beis Hamikdash Kayom Mizbeach Mechabel Yisrael. As long as there's a Beis Hamikdash, we have the Mizbeach. You bring korbanos, and then there's a kapara. Your table is mechaper. There are people that want to be buried with their table. I heard they make a coffin out of their Shabbos table. Yeah,
You want to be very.
that's kach shamati. Yeah, out of his desk. Okay, very nice. What is good? It's good to be Marich in the Beis HaKisei. There are 10 things that bring a person to hemorrhoids. If you eat the leaves of reeds. Alik fanim is like really choshev of food, no? Grape. Oh! Daniel Lando, Yishkoyach. We mentioned your Shalom Zachar and that the Olam should learn. His baby is still in the NICU, so a little bit of learning wouldn't hurt. Valik fanim and grape leaves. It's amazing that he's here in the shir. His baby's over there, his wife is over there, and he's here. It's tremendous. What? Baby's watching too. Valik gefanim and grape leaves. Velulve gefanim. Those are, the tzkrazel topayas. They say the chassidish payas. Those curly things that you see on grapes. Those are lulve gefanim. You know what I'm talking about? They have little vines that go like this. Literally, they look like chassidish payas. That's lulve gefanim. Umoirige behema. And anything meat that has ridges in it, such as a tongue, and whatever it is, the esophagus, anything that has
the palate of the animal.
That's one thing. Right. It's also the lashon. Anything that has ridges. V'shidre shel dag. You want to say that the tongue is okay?
No, he says no. Also, he says
anything. There's 10 parts of the body that I can think of that have ridges. It's not smooth. V'shidre shel dag. And if you eat the spine of a fish. V'dag maliach and herring, she'enu mevushikot tzarka, it's not completely done. V'ashoyz shemrei yayin, and if you drink the sediments of the wine, v'amakanech besid, use toilet paper, use lime for toilet paper, u'becharsis and pottery, this is gross. V'amakanech b'tzro shekerech b'chaveri, use the same thing that your friend used. So this is what we're trying to learn. If a person hangs in the bathroom, what does it mean? He squats and he's not sitting on the ground, he's like hanging. His back is hanging in the air too much. That's not good. And we just said hanging out in the bathroom is great. Like Asher, if you sit on a chair, you sit on a toilet, that's great. It's very healthy. But if you squat, it's not good. There's this matronisa, a noble woman, who told Rabbi Eloi, your face is shining like somebody that has too much time on his hands, too much money. How do you make a lot of money in those days? You megadol chazerim. It's easy money. They're easy to bring up the PIGs. And those who are shark loans, they take ribis, all things that are usr, but they make a lot of money. Amar lo, hey menusa, I swear to you, I don't do either of them. There's 24 bathrooms from my house until the Beis Medrash. I'm not exactly sure how far away the Beis Medrash was. Was it a block away, 10 hours away? But there's 24 of them. If you learned in yeshivas, like real yeshivas, you know what I'm talking about. There's like that one guy that's always biting himself and runs to the back. But Kitzer, there's an inyan, I guess, to be biting yourself. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, he's laughing. Okay, my chavrusa out of that kind of chavrusa. Every 4.5 minutes. Fine, there's that guy. It's become a mitzvah. But even Rabbi Yehuda Bar Elai did it, so certainly I could do it. I won't do 24, I'll do 20. There are 3 things that will cause a person to lose life. Torah is chayim. If somebody gives you the opportunity to read from the Torah, I saw you looking at me. You give it off to somebody else. So they say, obviously, if you don't know how to read and you're embarrassed, you don't know the trup, then that's not a problem. But you know how to read, you're about Torah. Anyways, the point is that you mevayish the Torah. You say, this is not for me. Torah gives you life, so michlal hein at shemei alav. It's always the opposite. So it causes a shortening of the life. Koishal bracha levarach ve'ein mevarach. If somebody offers you to do zimun and you don't do zimun, that's a problem. A person, he takes his authority that was given to him and he misuses it. This is your life. And you don't want life, then it'll shorten your life. Koishal bracha levarach ve'ein mevarach. So koishal bracha, the Magen Avraham is medayik from the Gemara that it's the koishal bracha. In other words, not just zimun. If somebody says Rabbi Sain Nevarech without a cup, it's not that bad. If they offer you the cup and they say now say Rabbi Sain with a cup, because the Gemara says with a cup of wine, levarach ve'ein mevarach. D'chsiv va'avarcha mevorachecha. The leader abuses his authority. Why was Yosef nifter 10 years before his brothers at 110? So I saw in the art scroll, it brings beautiful that the Yosef HaTzadik, for every time that they mentioned to him, Avdecha Avinu, your slave, our father, and he didn't protest, he was still pretending that he's a king, they didn't know who he was, he should stop. That's my father you're talking about. For every time that they said it, he lost 1 year of his life. The question is that in the Torah it only says it 5 times, and the answer is there's a Metargumon. He heard it 10 times. So that Metargumon cost him another 5 years. Rachamim. There are 3 people that need Rachamim. Melech Toiv, a good king. Shana Toiva, B'chaloim Toiv. Melech Toiv, D'chsiv, Palgimayim, Lev Melech, Melech B'yad Hashem, is in the hands of Hashem more than other things. Shana Toiv, D'chsiv, Tamadeni Hashem Elihecha, Bob Reish Shana Vad Achar Shana. Chaloim Toiv, D'chsiv, V'sachal Limeini, V'chiyeni. There's a niggin somewhere? Omer Rabbi Yochanan. It's one of those that nobody's going to know. Omer Rabbi Yochanan. Shloishet Dvarim. You and him know everything. Doesn't mean that... Shloishet Dvarim, Machriz Alei, Makadosh Baruch Hu Ba'atzmai. There are 3 things. Usually somebody else is Machriz, another Malach. These are that Kadosh Baruch Hu by himself says it with his mouth. Ve'elohein. Rav. There's going to be famine. B'soiba. The opposite of a famine. There's going to be a lot this year. Uparnos Toiv. And there's going to be a great leader for Klal Yisrael, for the community. Rav, Dichsi, Kikar Hashem la Rav. Hashem calls it out. Soiva Dichsi, Vikarasi ala Dagam, Virbesi Oisai. It'll be plentiful. Vikarasi, I call it out. Parnas Tov Dichsiv. Vayoyim Hashem al Moshe Leimar. Rei Karasi b'Shem B'Tzalel. Karasi, I called him out. Already it's like, you have to ask permission first from the community, and then you put him in there. Shenemar. Even HaKadosh Baruch Hu asked for permission. Even Moshe Rabbeinu asked for permission. Ru Kara Hashem b'Shem B'Tzalel. Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'Moshe. Moshe. Hagun Alecha B'Tzalel. Do you agree that B'Tzalel is a good guy? Now, how old was B'Tzalel at that point? 13. Omar Lo, Rebbeinu Shalom, Im Lefanecha Hagun, Lefanei Lekolchken. You're recommending him. I'm going to have a taina about it. Omar Lo Yafa Bikein Lech Amar Lehem. Go ask Klal Yisrael. Holach V'Amar Lehem Yisrael. Hagun Alechem B'Tzalel. Is he good? Amar Loi, Im Lefanei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Lefanecha Hu Hagun. If it's good for you two, Lefaneinu Lekolchken, we have no problem with him. But anyways, you have to ask the tzibur. Even if you're sure that he's the best, you still ask them. Omar Rabbi Shmuel ben Achmeini, Omar Rabbi Yonasan. B'Tzalel al Shem Chachmasa Nikra. We're back to the theme that a name has to do with the person's essence. B'Tzalel al Shem Chachmasa Nikra. B'Shosh Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Moshe Lecha Mor Loi LeB'Tzalel Aseh Li Mishkan Aron V'Kelim. Go tell B'Tzalel, make me a Mishkan. So over here the Gemara says in this order. First came the Mishkan, the house. Then came Aron V'Kelim, then came the vessels. Holach Moshe v'Hafach v'Amar Lo Yaseh Aron V'Kelim u'Mishkan. Moshe Rabbeinu flipped it around. Where exactly did it flip it around? So Taisa says it's talking about a different pasuk because actually in the pasuk it says that Hashem said to do it this way. Mishkan Kelim. Taisa brings another pasuk. There's a big discussion here. Amar Loi, because the measure says the opposite. Amar Loi Moshe Rabbeinu. First, you build a house, and then you put it in your kelim. And you want to do the opposite. You want to buy vessels, and then build a house around it. Where am I going to put these vessels? And the measure says the opposite. B'Tzalel said, first you do the aron, it's the most chashiv, as such chashivas, then build something around it. Fine. So B'Tzalel tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Asay Mishkon Aroin Bekalim. Did I miss something? No. No, but before, it says Omar Loi. Moshe Rabbeinu. Yeah. I know, but I want to point out, what's interesting is that Betzalel says the word Moshe Rabbeinu. We call him Moshe Rabbeinu, but he called him to his face, Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay, I thought it was interesting. Instead of just Rabbeinu or Moshe, he says Moshe Rabbeinu. Like Harav Agoy Reb Chaim Kanievsky. You don't say that to Reb Chaim. You either call him Chaim or Harav Agoy, but you don't use those two. It's interesting terminology. Moshe Rabbeinu. What? Right, but without his name. And over here he said Moshe Rabbeinu. He said Sarah, Torah, and Moshe together. Fine. Just interesting. Omar loy Shema Betzel El Hoyisav Yudata. How did you realize this on your own? So some explain that Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to see and to point out the Chachma Betzalel. He tried to throw him off and tell Betzalel, hey, make the Kalim and then the Mishkan. And he wanted to see if Betzalel will chap. And then once he chapped on his own, he said, look at him, he's great, this guy's a genius. And that he called him Betzel Kel. You were in the shadow of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What? How do you know that that's what Hashem said? In fact, that's exactly what Hashem said. V'yodata, and you know. If you take the different letters of the Aleph Beis and you put them in certain ways, you can create things. You can make a goylem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the world with tziruf oisiyos. Betzalel knew how to do that. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Betzalel chachma ubedas. Uchsiv hasam by brias ha'olam Hashem b'chachma yosad haaretz. Koyin shemayim b'svuna. Uchsiv b'dayit tohomus nivko. Omer b'yechanan. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu noisei chachma elo l'mi sheyesh li boi chachma. This is a very interesting statement. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu only gives wisdom to a person that has wisdom. So how do you have wisdom to get wisdom? How do you start out with wisdom? You only get wisdom if you have wisdom. So the Nefesh HaChaim says that Reishis Chachma Yiras Hashem. That's something that's not in HaKadosh Baruch Hu's hand. Yir Shamayim, Hakol B'yedei Shamayim, Chutz Yir Shamayim. So that wisdom you get on your own. Once you have that wisdom of Yir Shamayim, understanding HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then He'll give you more. Shenemar Yoav Chachma Sol Lechakimin Umando Liyodei Vino. He heard this vart, he said it over. You read it from there. We have different pasuk. When you have chachma, a chacham leiv, then nosati chachma, then I give more chachma. Rabbi Isai, we're going into major sugyas of dreams. There is a beautiful cartoon that Ruvain made, and I just enhanced it a little bit. Here's the dream. I finish Shas. Am I dreaming? And here he's holding a Nida, the final Masechta in Shas, and I put on his yarmulke and the Gemara. Okay, fine. This is it. That's it for today, Rabbi said. The rest you have to... Oh, and for tomorrow's dreams, Rabbi Pessin made a beautiful, like a whole thing, and he gave it to me. It's literally, 8 feet wide and 8 feet tall. It's massive. So I don't know, maybe we'll hang it up here tomorrow, and I'll have to point to it. All the dreams, like in cartoons, a whole beautiful thing, like a nice picture. Omer Rav Chizda. There's a lot of interesting rules when it comes to dreams. Kol chaloim v'lo tavas. Dream anything you want, but don't dream about fasting. Fasting in a dream is a terrible thing. If you don't decipher the dream, it's like a letter that you never opened up. In other words, there's no harm. You don't know what's in the letter. Nothing happened. I remember reading once, I think it was Lincoln. He was once mad at like a certain general. He wanted to destroy him, so he wrote him a very, very nasty letter, and his wife took it to the post office and she threw it in the garbage, and that was the end of that. So if you don't open the letter, nobody knows about the letter, then that's the end of the story. Because the Gemara is going to say later on that it's all in how you decipher it. So you put words into the dream, that makes the dream be miskayim. If you don't look at it, you don't know it, then nothing happens. Another yesod. No matter if it's a good dream or a bad dream, it never happens 100% like you dream it. The Gemara will explain. It's better. It's preferable to have a bad dream than a good dream, because a bad dream will bring you to tshuva, says Rashi. You'll be scared and you'll start thinking about tshuva. On the flip side, you have a good dream, you feel all good about yourself, you're comfortable, that's not good. Says Rav Chizda, when you have a bad dream, that sadness that you have, that gufa is the kapara that undoes the dream. Because you're sad, then the dream goes away. But if you have a good dream and you're all happy about yourself, it also, that's not good for you. It's not good to be happy. Omer Rav Yosef, says Rav Yosef, Rav Yosef who was blind, so, in other words, he's blind, and even though that he's blind, if he has a good dream, it's not good. The happiness that he has from the dream will ruin it for him. It'll take away his sechar. I was thinking about it. If a person is born blind, how does he dream? What does he see in his dreams? What colors does he see? Like what shapes does he see? It's still a thought. Think about it. I don't know. Rav Chizda, he thinks about sound. I don't know. Like, I wonder what somebody. I have to ask. So if somebody knows, I'd be interested. He wasn't. That's why I said B'dafka. Rav Yosef was later on. No, there's a story about the Rambam. What?
Very few people have no vision at all.
Okay, but Lu Yitzur. The Rambam once had an argument. I forgot the story exactly. The Rambam had an argument with somebody, with some other doctor, if you could heal a blind person, and they claimed that you could heal a blind person. What? Blind from birth, and he said you can't. And the doctor said I could. So they proved it to him. They brought a baby, a kid, and they said, here, we healed him. Look, he was blind from birth, we healed him. So when did you heal him? Right now, we just healed him. So the Rambam pulled out a handkerchief and he asked the kid, what color is this? The kid said, it's red. He says, how do you know what red is? You never saw red. You don't know what the color is. All right. V'amar Rav Chizda. It's better to have malchus than to have a bad dream. This pasuk, Shem made that you should fear him, is a bad dream. So the Navi is going to say over the dream, I'm going to say over the truth, Malateven es habar. He compares the shaft, teven, the shaft of the wheat, as bar to the wheat itself, Num Hashem. Bar v'teven etzel chaloim. Another yisod about dreams. You cannot have wheat without the shaft. It won't exist. That's where we get the yisod that every dream has falsehood in it. Same concept. The entire dream won't come to fruition. Minalan mi Yosef, d'chsev, v'hinei Hashem v'yareach, v'chad asov v'kachav mishtachavim li. He's talking about his brothers and his parents that are going to bow to him. V'yishata im iloi havis. But when they actually came to bow to him in Mitzrayim, his mother was long gone. Rachel was nifter way before. By Binyamin we know was alive, obviously. V'yishata im iloi havis.
He had the dream already. She wasn't. When he was
dreaming. Right, correct. But I'm saying even at the. Right, but at the
even from the beginning,
yeah. Okay, the dream itself, but mishtachavim li. Okay, fine, I hear.
Rashi says it was miskayim with pillow.
What? The cholam, Rashi says, right. Vayishata, no, Rashi says mufurish. Vayishata the cholam. You guys are right. The time that he dreamt it, she wasn't alive. Good. You should wait for the good dream to come true for 22 years. When did he dream his dream? When he's 17. He was 30 years old. From 17 to 30. Last rate 13. The Siva. And 7 years of plentiness. And 2 years of famine. 22 years. And that's when they came, that's when they bowed, that's when the dream came true. Says Ravuna, to a good person, to a tzaddik, they're never going to show a good dream. Why? Because that will take away from his sachar. He'll feel so good, it'll take away from his sachar. And to a bad person, they don't show a bad dream, because that will give him sachar. Seems like Rashi learns in Rav Huna, and that's how you have to understand the sugya. That Rav Huna is saying that to a good person they show bad dreams, and to a bad person they show good dreams. That's how I understand the sugya. Tani Namahacha, Kosh Neisiv Shel David Lo Yirah Chaloim Toiv. David HaMelech never saw a good dream. V'Kosh Neisiv Shel Achitophel, who was David's right-hand man, but he's considered Rosh. Lo Yirah Chaloim Ra. He didn't see a bad dream. V'Ksiv Lo Yisuna Elecha Ra. Ask the Gemara, but it says in the pasuk, you're not going to have any bad. What does it mean? Shouldn't have bad dreams. So right if we stop here, if a tzaddik doesn't have good dreams, but he has bad dreams, what it says over here, we dive in that he shouldn't have bad dreams. Bad dreams is not good for him. Elamai, what are you going to say? He doesn't have either. Maybe Rashi is wrong. That's not how you learn the Gemara. He doesn't have either. That's also a problem because the tzaddik cannot go without a dream. So what could it mean?
You won't be afraid of them. You won't have them. You can have them, but you know it's good for you.
And why is it good? What do you gain? If it doesn't scare you, so then what do you gain from it? A bad dream is only good if it scares you and you do tshuva. Stop to have a bad dream. V'neged lo yikra ba'alecha. In your house, your wife. Coming back from a trip, if she's a vadai, then there's not a problem. Okay, you'll accept it. But safek nida, a person will have a very big problem with. Eloiu lechazi achrina chazule. Says the Gemara Yisai that a tzaddik he won't see the bad dream, but other people will see the bad dream for him, and he'll get the sechar for that. What? Who? No, mine is in parentheses. Yeah. If he doesn't see a dream, is that good? If you sleep 7 days without a dream, nikra ra, that's a bad thing. 7 days without a dream. So he'll see good dreams, but he won't know what they are. So the bottom line in the Gemara L'chayr is, the sechar of bad dreams, he'll get through other people. Not going without 7 days without a dream, he saw a dream, just he doesn't remember it. So that won't take away from his sechar, because he sees good dreams, Rashi says. This dream that he doesn't remember is not a bad dream. It's a good dream that he doesn't remember, memela, yaitza all shitas. Somebody else, what? He doesn't have to know.
The schar for the bad dream is that they do tshuva then. Because if the whole schar of the bad dream...
No, they dream it, they tell you about the terrible things.
So that, and you're going to do tshuva based on that.
Yeah.
I dreamt about you, blah, blah, blah.
Scary stuff. No, but I'm saying a person that goes 7 days without dreaming, but at the end he dreamed. He doesn't remember it, but he's not a ra.
He knows in the morning he dreamed, but doesn't remember.
He doesn't need to know. It has to be a fact that 7 days went by and he dreamt. He doesn't know about it, too bad. But he's not a ra. He had a dream that he doesn't remember. If a person has a dream and he's very sad about it, there's an amazing Taisus here that says, what is iftirenu? Who does Pisrin Chaloimes? Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, for instance, could be he didn't know how to do Pisrin Chaloimes. But the Balabas in the shul that in those days was better than him in Chaloimes. Says Taisus. Pisrin Chaloimes, last Taisus, Pirushri, the mazel shas haleida garim. This has nothing to do with tzitkas. This has to do completely with your mazel. Ben adover tali b'chachma has nothing to do with godless. It has to do with your mazel. Person is born with it. You can't develop it later on in life. So, if a person has a bad dream, he should go to 3 people and let's see what they say. Ask the Gemara if terenu. What he should be placed at the chaloim. We said that if you don't open it up, you don't open up a can of worms. Why should you be placed it? Yitivenu. Do a tovas chaloim. That's what it's called. Make it better. Make it good. No, because they're not going to tell him what happened. He's not going to the person like tomorrow we're going to have a crazy long sugi about Rava. 20 things that Rava went to Bar Hedia. He said, oh, I saw this. Oh, that means your wife is going to die. Oh, I saw this. That means your kids are going to die. That's a pisser chaloim. We're not asking pisser. He said, I saw this. That's great. First of all, you don't even say what you saw. You just, I had and the Gemara is going to explain. Here. You don't say what it is and they're not telling you what it is. No. No, it's bothering him. He has to get over it. It's bothering him. Yeah, aguma. He's depressed about it. What do you do? He lies to them. He says, I had a great dream. And they say back, it's a great dream, it's going to be good. Exactly, because you didn't open up. We can do whatever we want with that dream. We'll make it good. Rahman al-Shavi l'tav. Because Baruch should make it good. Sheva zimnin ligzur alach. What is Sheva zimnin ligzur alach? So Rashi learns here that that's what you say. That's not what you do. You don't say it 7 times. You say it because Baruch should be geyser on you 7 times. Which my others learn differently. Sheva zimnin ligzur alach. When Shemaya lehevet tava, v'yehevet tava. It should be good. It should end up good. V'leimu shalish hafuchos. You should say 3 psukim, and the Olam says this. Some people say this in V'yitin Lecha. I guess now I'm understanding why you say V'yitin Lecha. You say these psukim, and if you say them, then you don't have to come on to saying them by Atavas Chalaim. Say 3 psukim that talk about the reverse, everything flipped, 180. And then you say 3 psukim that talk about redemption. Let's see what they are. You flipped over my hesped to a dance. We need Judah. You're not cutting it. Levi, you're just not cutting it. Pitachta saki v'tazreini simcha. You opened up my sack and you gave me simcha. Oz tismach, here's another one. Oz tismach besula b'machal u'bachur muskenim yachtov. V'afachti evlam. V'afachti evlam l'sasayin. We have to put a mic over there. I don't think the Olam hears you. V'afachti evlam l'sasayin. And I'm going to flip the avelos to sasayin. And finally, he flipped Bilam's curse. Shalish B'duya is 10 minutes, Rabbi, is 10 mintes. Shalish B'duya is D'chsiv, Podim B'shalim Nafshi Mikrovli, from the battle, Ub'duya Hashem Yeshuvon. B'duya Hashem Yeshuvon is another pasuk. Vayomer ha'amel shalai yonas and yomas asher asa Yeshua azois. Vayivdu ames yonas, and then the pasuk says redemption. Shalish loimer is D'chsiv, Boyer Nifs Vasayim, because Baruch Hu created speech in the lips. Shalom Shalom. Here we have the concept of Shalom. L'rochik v'lakar v'am Hashem urufasiv. I healed him. V'ruach lavsha es amosai. V'amartim kol lechoy. V'ato shalom v'beischo shalom. Ameimar Mazutra and Ravashi. There are 3 of them. Ameimar, Mazutra, and Ravashi. Haviyas v'adad they were sitting around. Amri kol chad v'chad minon. Leibim milsa d'lishmiya le'lechavei. Tell us something. Each one should say something, a chidush that nobody ever heard before. One of them said, in a good Geshmaka, typical Gemara, the Gemara is going to try to figure out who said what. Today not. We're getting a break. We don't know who, and we'll never know. Person saw a dream, but he's worried about it. He doesn't know what it is. We do this is Allah on Yontif, when the Kohanim go, why? Gishmak. Because that's when we say the Hatavas Chalaim. Because everybody has some sort of dream during the year, that's your time to say it. How do you do it? The Gemara explains. What do? You say the whole thing, and the point is that when the Kohanim go, that's when you finish, and everybody says Amen, and the Amen goes on your Hatavas Chalaim. When the Kohanim are doing duchening, I dreamt a dream, I don't know what it is. Whether I dreamt on them, they dreamt on me. If they're great, you should make them great like the chalomis that Yosef was paiser. And if there's a need for healing, Moshe Rabbeinu threw the stick into the water and made the bitter water into sweet. Baruch Hu healed Miriam. Where was this? We learned it. Chizkiah was going to die. He didn't get married. And then he davened, Kir, even and then he got an extra 15 years because of that. And Yericho had bad water, so Elisha made the water good with some salt. Just like he flipped over his curse to a bracha, you should flip over all my bad dreams to good. U'Mesayim, says the Gemara, badi kahane. You should be Mesayim together with the Kohanim. What do the Kohanim do? I don't know. Ask Tzivika, ask Rabbi Schoenberg. Rabbi Schoenberg, what do you guys do? Oh, we're being mighty to you without even hearing us. Okay. I say it. Oh, the Grunics say it. Yeah, the Grunics say it. So no, seriously, it's in the Siddur. I say it. Because the Gra doesn't say the other Yerad sign because of Bakashas, and he says, "Oh, you guys don't say it, really? Not even once." The Gra says it 3 times. He's supposed to say it 3 times. I didn't know that. Okay, sorry. On Yontiv, I'm talking about Yontiv. He's saying that.
We're Yosef with you, like the Kohanim are Yosef. It's fine.
Okay. You say the Yerad said that.
Eli, go on.
Doni u'Mesayim badi kohanim doni tzibur amen. So when the tzibur says amen, it goes on this Yeratzin. V'loi, and if he messes up and he doesn't finish off together with the amen of everybody else, neimachi. Adi b'amarim. You ever hear people saying this? There's some that have the minute to say this. This is where it comes from. Adi b'amarim shoichem b'gvura ata shalom v'shimcha shalom yiratzim b'fonecha shetasim aleinu shalom. Pasach Hidduch. Now the second one got up. V'amar hayman da'oil masa v'docham ein bisha. Person is worried about ayin hara. Linkod zakva the yoda the yamina b'yoda the small. You should take his thumb, grab it with his other hand, take the other hand, and grab. Each hand grabs the other thumb like this, and that's it. Rabbi Isai, I have a drill for everybody. Try to look at your nose. Could you see your nose? Who says yeah? How many people you see there? Wow, there's a lot of people with long noses here. Says the Gemara. No, I have a pretty long nose and I can't see it. And my Chavrush said, "You're crazy. How do you not see? Like he can see everything up his nose. It's weird." Okay, but only like 6-7 people raised their hand there. So only like I don't know, 10%. Fine, interesting. Says the Gemara. V'zak v'diyot small b'yot the min of machi. And I'll play by Pliny. You say to yourself, I'm so and so, the son of so and so. Mizar de Yosef Kasina. I come from Yosef. Now the big question is, I don't come from Yosef. I come from Yehuda. Most of us come from Yehuda. I have a yichus all the way to Yehuda. That's me. Most people also.
Leviim, baby.
Leviim, Kohanim. So how can you say that? They discuss it. Maybe it means, I don't know, I'm just throwing in there because I didn't see the stars. Maybe it means there's some blood from your mother. Ben achar ben, I know I'm not from Yosef. I think. Fine. Yosef Tzaddik doesn't have, we're from his family, mishpacha. We're all mishpacha. We'll use that ayin hara thing that he has for us. Shenema bein Poros Yosef, bein Poros Ali Yoyin. I'll take Ali Yoyin, Ela Oile Yoyin. For the people that do ayin hara, he's above the ayin hara. We had this also in this Masechta. They'll be like fish. The water protects them. And if he's worried about his own ayin hara, you should look at his left nostril, if you could do so. If you can't, you're up a creek. Maybe you got to pull it out. I don't know. Close one eye. No, I can't. I just can't.
Look in the mirror. What's the problem?
That's the cause of ayin hara. By you looking in the mirror, wow, what a good-looking guy you are. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to look at your nostril and say, wow, I have such a long nose. That's okay. A person, this Rabbi Isai, I think is very important. I don't know the other tzad. I always remember this Gemara. I never understood these people. I heard about a guy, but now I'm thinking about it. I was taking care of I was involved with a guy that is a mishpacha, a woman who had Yanamachla, and she was marrying off her daughter, and a whole long mice, and she ended up being nifter the week of her daughter's chasana. So this guy went with him to Reb Chaim Kanievsky. Reb Chaim Kanievsky told him, don't tell anybody she has Yanamachla. But she was in stage 4 cancer. Don't tell anybody. I don't know how it fits in here. Never understood this. It says, if a person becomes sick, ill, there are a lot of people that don't, it's a secret, they don't tell people. But it says in the Gemara here, the first day you shouldn't tell anybody. It shouldn't be ayin hara. So you see this concept of ayin hara. But after that, you want everybody to know so that everybody can daven. The Gemara says in Ma'isa, Rava was sick. First day he didn't tell anybody. He tells his shamish. Puk achriz. Go outside and tell everybody, Rava Chola, she became sick. Whoever loves Rava should daven for Rava. and whoever hates him, should be happy that he's sick. Why? You shouldn't be happy when your enemy falls. Because if Hashem sees that you're happy that your enemy falls, He'll take away the machla from your enemy. So Mela, I want my enemies to be happy, therefore I'll take away the machla. It's a great trick. 1 minute, what?
We said this earlier.
No.
Someone said similar to this. If somebody is ill, then they should tell them because of the...
Oh, you mean a different Masechta maybe? Yeah. In Menachos? Berachos, okay. Show me where. I don't remember it. Shmuel. When Shmuel saw a bad dream, Omar v'chaloimus hashav yidaberu. Chaloimus are a bunch of lies. When he saw a great dream, he used the same exact words. V'omar v'chaloimus hashav yidaberu. It has to be true. I talk to people through a dream, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rava Rami. Rava would ask a question. Which one is it? A malach always says the truth. The Gemara always tells us how sheidim are a bunch of liars. You can never trust what they say. So Mela, that's Shavi Daberu.
Could bring a person to have a dream.
Yeah,
That's very
interesting. Omar Bizno Bar Zav, maybe he whispers in your ear. You think you're dreaming. Omar Bizno Bar Zavdo, Omar Bekiva. Some take this out. Some say it's a different Bekiva. It's an Amar. Omar Panda. Omar Benochem. Omar Abirim. Mishum Zokin Echad. Omar Rabbanah. Rabbanah says. Esther and Barba, Poisra Chalom Yisrael Yerushalayim. The 24 deciphers of Dream Yerushalayim. Pamachas Chalamti Chaloim Valachti Tzikulam. I had a bad dream. I went to all 24. Test them out. Umasha Pasalizeh, Le Pasalizeh. I didn't get the same answer from any of them. They all said something different. V'kulam Niskayim Ubi, and all 24 happened to him. I hope they were all good. L'kayim Hashaneva Kol Chaloim Esolchem Achrei Apeh. You have the choice with your mouth to change the direction of the dream. Or the Kol Chaloim Esolchem Achrei Apeh. Kro, is it a pasuk? In. Yosef Tzaddik telling the Sarah Mashkim. Exactly. 1 more minute. But it has to be from within the dream. You can't just say, oh, he saw wheat, so it means he's chveisvas. He's going to fall. It has to be within the same thing. Like the dream. How did the Sarah even know that it was a good pisroin? This we all know. Fine, we'll stop right here. You see that each one, the Sarah Mashkim dreamt about the Sarah Oif and Sarah Oif, so Memela, they all knew that what he said was true. Have a wonderful day. They didn't